All right, you know, doesn't it figure that you put these things away and then the tire starts to go flat? Sure. I wish I could say that that was the only time this has done that, but it's not. So, more 770 projects right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. I'm seriously questioning my life choices, as every time you make one step forward, 2 steps back. But sure. So today in the mail arrived this fine piece. So we're going to swap it out, and we are going to hope that fixes our problem and our light goes out. And then while we still have some air in this tire, I guess we're going to take it over and try to air it up, and hopefully that solves all of our life's problems, because wouldn't it be terrible if we ruined this tire as good as it is? Yeah, as good as it is. Well, it's still got a lot of meat on it. I hate to have something bad happen, but first things first. You remember in our previous installments, we did such a thing as making a jumper wire, which consequently I forgot about, so I didn't bring a screwdriver. I'm hoping that we can manage without it. Probably not, though, because that's how our life works. Every time we think we've accomplished something, it doesn't. Now, here's my fine precision screwdriver. Somebody commented on in a video. It's got a custom arc to it. Probably from when it did a stint as a hitch pin one time, when I couldn't find anything else. So, sure. But it might just be enough to undo our temporary shebang here, which consequently we will keep with this other sending unit in case this ever happens again and we have to quickly plug our leak. Because that could happen a second time, you see. Was it worth it? Was it worth not just letting it sit there until the new one came? Well, it's over a week later, I think. So, it's been sitting in the shed this time, all this time, instead of outside. So, that's bound to be a little bit better, isn't it? If I had got the right size tools. Probably would have helped, but I don't like to do that. I like to struggle and carry on with the wrong size tools, so that's what you get. Consequently, I should have ordered an extra one of these, so I might have to just go back and do that, because what would happen, let's say, if here in a second I over tighten the thing that holds the sending unit wire. That can also be a bit of death for these. When you do something dumb and over tighten. And we all know that doing something dumb is a real possibility around these parts. I'm also waiting on a delivery that I said I needed a signature for, but then I think I rigged it where you don't have to have a signature, because I didn't know if I would be around. Being careful, that's the name of our theme here. See, if we get this running good here in a little bit, we may run back down to the woods and try to fix our bad fence situation we got ourselves into, you know. I'm going to stop with that, because if I don't, something bad could happen. Let's go around and see if we can get it to start. Carburetor, Are you still? It's hard to see with the sun. Are you leaking any gas out? It doesn't appear that it is. So that's nice. Let's set all of our stuff there so that we dump it out. Sure. Yeah. What a sweetheart. What a sweetheart. Cold day at an idle, starts right up. And that is not staged. Man, you rev it up and then more lights come on. Good for this tire, sure. That 70 project needs to either be finished or get out of here. Figure that out. At wide open, both lights are kind of glowing a little bit. There must be an electrical problem on this thing. I also still don't know exactly which light's which. I'm thinking that that is the oil light and this one's the charging light. But I don't know. I don't think I got the carburetor adjusted just perfect right yet. That's part of my trouble too. So we'll have to tweak that a little more as we use it. But I do think I'm gonna have to look at one of the others to see which is which, since both of my little red papers fell out. But I'm thinking that that's the charging light and that's why it's glowing a little bit. And the oil one went out right away like it's supposed to. Let's get the air compressor and air that tire up. Also, we need to pick up all our trash that's blown all around here, because that's driving me nuts. But first things first, let's complete a task we're actually working on instead of starting 15 things at once. All right. You still going? You haven't went psychedelic either, so that does lend theory to the it's a certain battery effect. And I tested that once before, but then it did it anyway, so maybe there's more than one battery that's wrong. But I marked the last one that went psychedelic, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully you hold out. Ooh, there's a delivery coming. We're gonna head up there and check that out, so the guy doesn't drive off and leave. But I think we got our tire aired up for now. It went flat slowly over last winter, and now it went flat a lot quicker, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I'm gonna run up here and we'll check this out. But maybe here in a little bit I'll bring you back and we'll go to the woods with this. Yeah, so things happened, got distracted. It's several days later. I'm not gonna get to go down there and drill any post holes, but I think what I am gonna do is hope that my solenoid gets here soon, because I'm tired of that leaking. No, what I'm gonna do is, I don't know that there's really gonna be that much snow, but what I think I'm gonna do is I've got a couple places I could put a couple extra bales where all I'd have to do then is open the gate and they could go get to the bales if emergency situation happened, you know. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and that way, worst comes to worst, I can still have them taken care of and I won't have to work so hard in the miserable snow. So that's my plan. Plus it gives us a chance to try out our work on this thing, you know. I'll probably have to have two hands to start, because it takes a little choking. Aw. Yeah, see the hydraulics. Once the hydraulic pump starts turning, you can't crank it over again. And since this tractor doesn't have the closed center steering, that steering wheel jerk trick does no good on this one, because it's got its own. The only thing you can do to relieve the hydraulic pressure is to raise the loader, and that'll take the load off of it. I do have to say though, since we fixed those lines, I think that the hydraulic pump runs quieter. I think it was sucking air the whole time, and I mean like for years, because it is so much quieter. It's crazy. I'm not doing very well driving all bundled up. This is really hard to do with the winter clothes on to film. I can't really turn around very good and see what I'm doing. Buddy's relaxing in the warm grass, sunning himself. All right, I got a couple bales placed strategically, so if I have to just open up a gate and let them in, I can. Of course, if I let them in here, they'll be able to go wherever they want. Since our fence is still crappy down in this section, that's on my next agenda of things to fix, is to start from my fence there that I built, come this way and go up, so that this is an isolated pin again that they can stay in without any chance of escape. And then also I want to do one on the other side with panels, so that I got places I can move them to. I'm gonna do a little PSA, I guess, about cows in the winter. Somebody started harping on these cows. Oh, they're in terrible conditions with the mud and whatever. And that kind of ticked me off, because you don't know what you're talking about. If you feed animals in the winter, I don't care if it's grass like this or if it's thicker grass or what, wherever you feed them or wherever they high traffic area, they're gonna have this turn brown instantly. I mean, they will stomp down whatever. Even if it's not really mud, it's gonna wear the grass off and it's gonna look dark. So no, they're not always in mud. That's why I feed them up on top of the hill where it's dry. And that calf got his head stuck in the fence over there in a section. And yeah, it looks like mud, and that was more muddy than some of it. But that's because they like to stand down in that valley whenever it's cold and windy. That's their thing they like to do. You know, years ago, all the old timers would put them in the barn every night. Put them in the barn, put them in the barn. And Grandpa figured out they don't necessarily want to do that. If you open it up and let them where they can get in the barn, they would just as soon stand outside. So what they like to do is find places where they can just hang out where the wind doesn't hit them, and you know, they're happy. That's what they like to do. They are meant to be outside. I know we live in a society where everybody puts clothes on their dog, but that's not how animals were made. I mean, they are made to naturally be outside, and they have all the features that they need to be able to do that safely. So no, they're not in terrible conditions, and that's partially why I don't like to show them a lot, because I know I'll get stupid comments like that. But if it rains a bunch like it has been, there's going to be mud in places, you know. But I always keep it where they can get away from that, and they can do whatever they want. They can go in mud, or they can not go in mud. I do agree. I have seen places you drive by where they're standing in, you know, knee-deep mud on certain people's farms, and it's just soup, and they don't have anywhere they can go. And I don't really like that, but I understand that there's only so many places you can go with them if you're not set up for, you know, somewhere for them to go. So, like I said, I think they're in pretty good shape, and I'm trying to do some changes now that everything has changed hands 100%, and I'm going to, you know, do some different stuff where I can get them moved around but still have them contained. Because my goal for anywhere that they always are is that they have somewhere they can get into the shade, and that they have somewhere they can get to water and food without my, you know, having to babysit them constantly. So that if something happens to me, or I get, you know, whatever, I can't make it home in time or something, that they always can get, you know, to what they need. So that's the goal. So quit harping in the comments about how you don't like the way I'm doing it. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you have cows in the wintertime, you will know, especially in early winter and in the spring, because that is when the whole places are basically mud. I mean, you just can't help it. It's just the way nature is. But anyway, there's a bale here, so if emergency happens, all I got to do is open a gate. They can get in here. I've got a bale in there. I can put them in that pen where I can just open the gate. They can come and go as they please. Even if I have to do it in here, it's usually my experience that if there's a bunch of snow on the ground and whatever, they won't stray too far. I mean, they won't go out and do whatever they want. They'll kind of just hang around the home area, you know. And up until a few years ago, they never got out of that pen in the wintertime. He would put them in there, you know, every night for sure, and then he would leave them in there all winter long and never let them out. And I've kind of let them go out, and I'd let them turn them out maybe one day and let them go do whatever they want. And then the last year, they could do whatever they want because I didn't have the fence finished. But yeah, I'd like to think that they're in pretty good shape. I mean, so I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, I started last night trying to reorganize stuff and put things in the shed. And so I got this hole that I think I can get 3 tractors in, and that's what's going to happen now. And then I also want to get this end is going to be changed here. I need to get this 1755 and mixer moved around, and I'm gonna have to do that anyway to get the other tractor out, because the 77 is trapped back in here, and so it needs to go out. The battery was dead, I believe. This thing needs to just go. We never did get to mess with it, but that's fine. I enjoy being alive, and I think it's probably gonna kill me. So I guess the plan is to see if these will start. This one will probably need a little go-go juice. This one, the battery's dead, so I gotta get the jump pack. These two I'm hoping I can just leave where they are for now because they're under roof. But the 77 is hopefully going to go back there. 770 old style, nosed up to it, and Freddy I'm hoping I can get under there, and that will take care of all these. So let me I guess go get some supplies like the jump pack and a little bit of the magic laughing gas, and we'll see if we can't get this going. I would say this next year we're gonna have to address the rim on this one, because I'm afraid that that tube is obviously leaking a little bit, and that chloride's gonna have that totally ruined if I don't do something. So sure. All right, this has been sitting for a long time. So yeah, I mean, why would we expect it not to run? I mean, it ought to. We should probably make sure that it's not a total straw bale under there. It shows 12 volts. It might be fine. The last time we ran it was when we worked on that switch, or replaced that switch, you recall, because it didn't do the thing. See, why is it doing that? That ought to be enough juice to make her sail. Choke. There we go. Well, we'll let this run a little while and warm up, since it hasn't run in a long time. Is it charging the battery? Yeah. Okay, I guess that headlight over there is burned out. I think I remember that. When I was planting wheat the last time I used it, I think that headlight burned out. Go-go juice, that's what we're after. We only have 18% battery, so I don't have high hopes. I started rearranging this last night, and I didn't have immense success. I think that, are these bolted solid? No. So I wonder if I did that, I could probably get this in a little bit more. I don't think this John Deere is exactly where it should be, but I couldn't get it started. It's up to its old tricks again. Probably needs the points sanded. Sure. Oh, get your fatness through there. Oh, can't do it. Holy canoodle. This should have good batteries, so there should be no reason it doesn't start. I guess it needs the jump pack after all. It is very, very cold, so I'm not surprised. Kind of disappointing though that brand new batteries won't do the thing. People have asked about this jump pack and how I like it. Well, when it works, I like it. But I will tell you, this is actually the second one. The first one self-destructed, and they had to warranty it, and this is the second one. The first one wouldn't shut off. It was on all the time, and the knob started to melt. It was a mess. I don't know what happened to it inside, but yeah. It shows 12.2. Faithful. Runs every time. They hear the 77 run and they think lunch is coming, but it's not right now. It will be here in a little bit. You got hay. Munch on that until you get the stuff. Sure. We'll see if this works. Yeah, it's in there. Well, GoPro's dead. I got some tractors under the shed. It didn't turn out quite like I thought. I couldn't get the 770 started. So I got it on a battery charger, and I'd like it to get going where I could shove it up under here too. There's enough room, I think, where I can, you know, actually probably should have just backed that 88 up to the other one and I could have got it in here and left a hole. I might do that. I might turn it around and do that. There would easily be a 770 hole here. I had thought about I was going to put Freddy in here, but it won't start either. So Freddy and the 770 are probably going to get snowed on. I hate that, but that's the way it is. So we will call this video here. It's kind of a collection of all kinds of things, but that's just the way she goes, you know. We can go around here. The biggest thing I wanted to accomplish was to put that under the shed so that it doesn't get covered with snow when I need to use it. And yeah. And then this little 550, this probably isn't the most efficient hole for it, but it fits up here without going down in the mud grooves that thing left and I never got fixed. I'm gonna have to get some gravel and stuff, and I really would like to rake this out and start over, but that's a warm weather project. So until next time, we're gonna leave this one here. Probably not a very interesting video, but that's the way she goes. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.